Hello, welcome back to my channel. In a break from our usual vlogs, I thought I would do a little unboxing. If you do watch my vlogs regularly, you may have already seen this, but it was kind of hidden in a random vlog. So I thought I would do a standalone video for those people who were actually interested in this kind of stuff. I got this for Christmas / our anniversary, a little kind of background. It was our 10-year anniversary in January, and I told my husband under no circumstances could he buy anything really expensive, because it was just unnecessary, and we were going to do a trip to Vegas to renew our vows, and that was like enough of a thing. We don't exchange Christmas presents, so it was a complete surprise on Christmas morning when he gave me this. I was like a mix of elated and enraged, but he knew it was something that I'd been looking at, so it wasn't too much of a stretch to kind of guess what I might want. The packaging is obviously everything that you would imagine that it would be. Absolutely gorgeous. Everything from the bag to everything that came with it, like all of the paperwork and stuff is just so beautifully put together. And then once I got it out of the shipping box, I think we can all agree when it comes to luxury items, this is really what you're paying for, because this is the fanciest thing I've ever seen in my life. Obviously I have already opened it from the other side. I just kept that intact because... So then the box, and within the box, the very famous box, and I did not know it did this. I'm certain that you can get a box at a lot lower price point that does this, but imagine proposing to someone like that. It's the details, it's the details. So I knew what it was going to be as soon as I saw the box. I knew, because he knew I liked this ring. It's the Trinity ring, it's the small. I have been wearing it for a few weeks now, so it's not all polished and beautiful in the way that it was when I first got it. But this is what the ring looks like. A stack of 3 gold rings of different colours. And when I first got it, I put it on my finger. I got to there and thought, this feels a little bit small. But I put it on my finger and it got stuck. He knew my wedding ring size. Now, things change in 10 years, and the size that I would be in my wedding ring is not the size of ring that I would buy now. My wedding ring still fits, but it's kind of like, it fits in a special way because my hand's been wearing it for 10 years and they've made friends. A brand new ring, I would definitely size up, and particularly with this style of ring, people do recommend that you size up because it moves, and because of the 3 ring situation, it's not quite the same as a normal ring. He wasn't to know this. He thought he knew my ring size, and it got stuck. All Christmas Day, it was stuck on my finger. I was playing it down, but truly, in the back of my mind, I was thinking, this is not just one ring they're going to have to cut off my finger. They're going to have to cut off all 3. How simple will this be to fix? In addition, the minute I put it on my finger, my husband said I had it engraved, and I thought, well, I'll never know what it says. Long story short, I managed to get it off my finger, and Cartier Resize one size for free as part of the service. So they said that they will resize the creation once, and we took them up on that. Now, he bought a 49mm, and when we filled out the paperwork, you can like resize it up to 1mm. I put 51mm. And they resized it to 51. So I'm not sure whether or not we got away with that, or they were just like, well, we'll do it, it's not a problem. But they did resize it to 51, and it is the absolute perfect fit now. It moves really comfortably up and down my finger, and I can fit it on my other hand as well if I wanted to do that. This style does have Cartier engraved on the rose gold band. I will say, although this doesn't bother me, because I'm planning on wearing this ring daily, it has got quite a few scratches all around all 3 bands, because obviously gold is a soft material, so it's not going to be really, really hard wearing. It's not going to be super beautiful, shiny forever. And all 3 rings are constantly moving around each other. If you're someone who's going to take their rings off in the evening when they're cooking, etc., etc., you're going to preserve it as much as possible. You may have a different experience, but for me, my rings are made to be worn, especially my wedding rings, and I want to be able to wear this in place of a wedding ring all of the time. It's just something to bear in mind, and if it's something that might bother you, you might be more interested in the love ring, which is more of a substantial and just obviously one ring rather than the three that are definitely, this is going to get more scratched than your average ring. I'm just looking on the website now. This model that I have, which is the small, is currently £830 and the classic is £1,150. Now, I had looked previously at the different sizes and I'd settled on the small because when I'd seen them on the other people's hands, it didn't seem to be a massive difference. Now, bear in mind also that mine has been resized 2mm, so it might be slightly slimmer, just the tiniest, like negligible amount, but bear that in mind. But when I'd seen the classic on other people's hands, it didn't seem to be a massive difference. I think that the gold is like a heavier gold, it's like a slightly thicker, but it's not so much so that you're going to see like a huge difference. Not for me, but I did want to mention that because it's something that I was considering when I was looking at this ring previously. And lastly, when I sent the ring to be resized, they did send me a huge package from DHL, like put all of this box together, whatever. And within that was like an buildable, a put together red box. Actually quite beautiful to say that it was only being used to return something, which obviously was large enough to send anything back from Cartier. So you could send back a watch in that box, you could send back rings, whatever. So I sent it back in that. I didn't have to send any of the packaging back that we'd received like from new. And when it was returned to me, it was returned just in like a jiffy bag, and it was in this little pouch, which is super cute, which has Cartier on the inside, because again, details. And finally, this is a ring sizer. Get your minds out of the gutter. I thought I would tell you what this ring actually is in terms of a regular size. So my wedding ring is a J, and this is closer to an L. Pretty much dead on an L. It's measuring 51mm and an L. So a J would actually be 49. I would definitely recommend, if you can't get to a store, at very least, picking up one of these from Amazon, eBay. They are really cheap. I got this with a set of rings as well. It's a really useful thing to have, especially even if you're just buying like fashion rings and stuff online. It's good to have in the house because you might want to put a ring on a different finger and you might not have a ring available to size. But it's super useful. So just worth bearing in mind, especially if you can't get into store, and particularly if you're going to have it engraved. When you can't actually return it, all you can do is resize. Overall, the service, the customer service, aftercare, everything was really fantastic. And hopefully this was useful for those of you who, at some point like me, were either looking at this ring or you've got the ring and it doesn't fit and you're wondering what's going to happen. It's really a much more smooth process than you would imagine. And the ring was back within 30 days.